LGBTQ plus advocates in Maine are sending a strong message right now. You can still reach out for help. This after the recent shutdown of a national LGBTQ plus youth suicide hotline by the Trump administration. That program served 3,000 people here in Maine last year.
Now those calls are being redirected to the Maine Crisis Line, but there are serious concerns that the removal of the specialized service puts vulnerable youth at greater risk. News Center Maine's Vivian Lee explains.
When you call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, you may hear the following.
If you are a veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1.
The Press 3 option, which connected callers under the age of 25 with LGBTQ plus trained counselors, is no longer available. The national LGBTQ plus focused 988 Lifeline program was launched in July of 2022, following the passage of a law under the first Trump administration.
In the 3 years in which 988 Press 3 operated, we served 1.5 million contacts.
Casey Pick, the director of law and policy at the Trevor Project, says that the nationwide suicide prevention nonprofit for LGBTQ plus youth was one of 7 centers providing 988 crisis support services, including 3,000 Mainers last year. On July 17th, the Trump administration terminated the program by cutting its funding. In a statement, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration noted that it would no longer silo the services and would instead focus on serving all help seekers.
There are so many in the community who face prejudice. We're seeing denial of civil and human rights, harassment, family rejection, and all of those things can lead to new or worsened symptoms of mental health.
Equality Maine Deputy Director Heidi Lester says the elimination of the services comes when research indicates LGBTQ plus young people are more than 4 times as likely to attempt suicide than their peers due to stigma and discrimination. In addition, studies have found that Mainers face significant barriers to accessing mental health care, especially in rural areas. Now, when people call the 988 number but do not select options 1 or 2, they will be redirected to the Maine Crisis Line managed by the Opportunity Alliance.
And those call takers are all trained to respond to members of the LGBTQ plus community in a culturally humble and affirming way. So we're very fortunate in this state.
The Trevor Project will continue to provide its own 24/7 crisis services, and advocates are actively reaching out to members of Congress and state legislators.
This would be a thing that we could come together around and say, maybe we don't agree on everything, but we can agree that every young life is worth saving.
A life or death issue advocates say that should transcend politics. Vivian Lee, News Center, Maine.
Now, if you or someone you know is struggling with their mental health, the following resources are available 24/7. The Maine Crisis Line, the numbers are on your screen right now, 1-888-568-1112. You can also use 711. There's also the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can dial 988.